8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Here we go. QQ and Win going at it. Conjure Amalgamate is first up. So, yeah, just going there. Let's see, will they start on different sides? Yeah, now this is actually a region thing, by the way, guys. Do you know that NA and EU do different arms, Nike? EU does right arm.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, and NA typically does left arm. What do you make of that?
That's odd because D&T we always did right arm first.
Oh, wow. Okay, D&T are the exception, but yeah, this is oh wait, NA starts on the right side most of the time. Well, I don't look. I'm just saying, the guys like NA, they have these special strats, a special source, right? And actually, QQ getting a bit of a better end of that already. They were able to burn the arm a little bit quicker, right? They were able to instantly burn it down, right, and get to this phase a little bit quicker.
No joke.
No, I mean some of these DHs are kind of slacking a little bit, you know. So
yeah, we are. Yeah, I mean the teams are neck and neck at this point. It's anybody's game. I would say that no one has there's not big separation.
Nope, not a great deal. Only a few seconds in right now. Now, the question is, will both teams be able to push it to 50% here, right? Like, of course, there is the CM, so additional health is enabled, right? Like, these, the bosses do have a bit of extra HP. And yeah, actually, Downstate Cucks not quite able to get it to 50%. Will QQ be able to get away with it? Let's find out. Oh, it's pretty close. It's like pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
They
was able to do it. Oh,
yeah.
They didn't?
Oh, it's very... I believe they did. I believe they did, actually. I believe they did, which is very, very good for both of these teams. Obviously, they're you know, in a pretty even setup right now. Win, if anything, a little bit ahead now. They should be able to take the arm down, right? So Win, actually in a really good spot as a result of the you know, the big fucking burst they were able to connect there. I think they are going to be able to take that on. Yeah, they do. There you go. QQ, if anything, a little bit behind now. So the Conjured Amalgamate already in 40%. He loses health whenever his arm is taken down here, of course. Let's check out some fat rotations.
Those Daredevil stolen skill, bomb stolen skill makes the burst insane when you have the swords up on the boss. That is just really front loaded.
Well, that's the thing though. It's not working for them. It's Downstate Cucks with the DHs that are pulling ahead here. Yeah. So the front load is great, right? But it's not good enough for that slightly longer sustained burst phase, and that's where Downstate Cucks have leveraged their advantage, right? Like they have found that with the DHs they're able to go further, go faster, and now they are actually a fair old bit ahead here, actually. To be frank, and a downstate for QQ as well, forcing the GG. They are going to be forced to actually go ahead and 8-man this, whereas Downstate Cucks, this is I think this is a psychological phenomenon, isn't it, really? You know, ooh, I said that, and they miss a sword, and they get down. Oh, no. Why do I say this stuff, Nike? I don't know. Why am I doing this?
Can they finish it with what they have up? They have to try.
They can do it. They can do it. They should be able. I think they should be able to do it.
They got it, but by
they just got it. Yeah. Just taking that down there as well. But wow, I'm just saying that, after their previous victory, that's got to feel good, right? Like just from a psychological standpoint, you've got to be emboldened, you've got to have confidence. The ERP is a big thing. It is a bit scary, it is a little bit spooky.
That's a wipe.
Oh dear.
QQ.
Oh dear.
This is a big deal now. Downstate Cucks going to have a big advantage.
That's just a straight, nearly a 4-minute lead. We'll probably be going up to a 4-minute lead. Not ideal there for the Cucks, unfortunately. Conjured Amalgamate, look at him just respawning there. Beautiful. Well, the spectator not even looking at the fight, just going around to investigate, going and checking out the situation. I think, I believe this. Yeah, the spectator has now only just realized that they didn't kill Conjured Amalgamate. There we go. We're just going back in. Look at that beautiful panning shot there coming in. So we're on point here, guys. At Teapot Studios. I mean, we know what the hell's going on. Now, there's not really much to be said about the Ooze pre-event though. There is a big thing though. You know what the good omen is? If you can one-burn the Dreg Shark coming up in the next room, right? That is a huge deal.
That is one of the true tests of skill. in the game.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest DPS checks ever designed.
Oh, it is. Funnily enough, it is.
Rating.
Nike's not joking there, guys. Like this, the next thing you're about to see pretty much is one of the hardest DPS checks in the game, especially with 9 players. They're going to have to destroy a sand shark by throwing a bomb at it and then bursting it, but they only have so long to do that. So let's see if they're able to connect there and able to get that big one-shot on the Dreg Shark here. So here they are, Downstate Cucks. They are moving into position. Are they going to be able to do it? Let's find out. And there we go. The shark has been thrown. Now, there is a way, so even if you do fail the one burn, you can actually very carefully chain a bomb, right, and then immediately restun it instead of it jumping back into the gold and flailing around like crazy. But let's see how this is going. Can they do it? It's looking quite strong. Is this going to be a one burn? It may well be. 5%. They get it. Oh, that's a good omen for Downstate Cucks.
That shows they're on point.
Yep. Oh, a Necro relog for Largos, actually. What do you make of that, Nike? They want to play it a little bit safer then, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm thinking... Oh, that's tough. I'm trying to see what specifically you would want the Necro for.
I presume it's just for a little bit of extra, the barrier uptime, maybe for Nakare to make it a little bit more stable, a little bit safe. Although they could also use the Boon Corrupt, right, for Canute potentially, that sort of thing. You know, there's multiple potential uses for this, but it is curious to see, isn't it? Now, Largos, tell us a little bit about Largos here. Like, how could Downstate Cucks end up getting Downstate stuck here?
Oh yeah, very easily. In the last phase. You take the boss you're fighting. The bosses are split apart on 2 separate platforms, and your group is split. And if one of the bosses is killed, the other one goes into enrage. So if one group is significantly further ahead of the other, they'll jeopardize the one that's already behind by putting their boss into enrage. And potentially wiping them.
Yeah. And these bosses in Rage are terrifying. It's why Portal Strat actually scares me. I actually am scared of Portal Strat. Seriously, it's messed up. It is absolutely messed up. Now, Downstate Cucks really getting down to it, getting some serious DPS. Nakara going all over the place. And QQ were able to clean up that Conjured Amalgamate as well in a very quick time there as well. You know, they were able to get a good execution there. Just something just didn't really work out in their initial run. But they are back in business and ready to go.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen left not on Thief in a raid.
Well, when it's the ERP, it is serious business. There's the CM mechanic.
You bring out the big guns.
Oh, yeah, the big guns. Like, sometimes you are actually going to have to play another class, right? As much as, you know, you might not like it, you're going to have to play something else. But let's see. I imagine it's going to be a hell of a lot of mirages again for QQ. Now, the CM mechanic here is a bit of a Gorseville roleplay. It's like Gorseville, but speedy, right? Every 20% of these bosses' health, a big AoE circle is going to spawn. And if you're on the platform, when that death AoE touches the edge, you are done for. You are done for.
Yeah, it's not particularly dangerous. You have plenty of time to get off the platform and go hit the water.
Yeah, I think one big risk with the CM mechanic is if you end up chilled. There's a lot of chill on this fight, right? Like if you get hit by the tornadoes, if you get hit by Nakari's dash, you end up chilled, and then you're going to be really sad. Like you might kind of just hobble over and not really make it, and then well, you're dead, right? And well, that's then you're full dead. There's no downstate rule, even enforcement required there. Simple as that. It's completely unnecessary. But, I mean, it's looking fairly stable for Downstate Cucks. They're doing okay. Of course, things really get interesting when you have to split up, right? Like, this is, stacking on top of each other and cuddling is really good in Guild Wars 2, right? Like, hugging each other is like a big thumbs up. And Largos is one of the very few fights that forces you, okay, to move all over the place, right? Like, you've got to be in 2 places at once, and that means you don't have your big hug box of every support in the game all stacked together. You're going to have to rely on a 5-man group. You know, that's what Raiders have always wanted, right? Like, everything is great in 5-man content, right? Well, here you go, right? Like, what if I can't find 5 more players? Well, you can just do one half of Largos, right? It's good stuff. So,
yeah, and I think the scary part to look out for is... when they split apart, the one that steals boon can be quite deadly to the team that they're fighting if it manages to get boons from the group, and they can't strip it adequately.
Yeah, and they won't be able to. The Necro is actually on the other side, right? Although
that's interesting.
Well, this is a really spicy build. I've just noticed something interesting about the setup here. You'll notice that left is playing Condi Chrono, right?
Interesting.
I wonder how that stacks up against Mirage. Well, obviously, Downstate Cucks believe it actually can hold a candle to it at least. I mean, it has a very high confusion output, right? Like a really, really high confusion output, which is obviously very advantageous. This is one of those bosses that attacks really fast. And if you attack fast, you can hit yourself in the face a lot quicker. Here as well. And, and we see why. This is a very curious choice with regards to Necro, right? I think it may just be for a little bit of extra safety, some condition cleanse perhaps, that sort of thing with the F2s, just some sustain. Because its DPS it's even below Warrior, right? Like, and that's not a slight at Mela. Necro's DPS is just lower than a well-played Berserker, which is exactly what Diaxon is, right?
Yeah, and in fact, I think a second Warrior might be an even better play, but the Scourge does have a little bit of utility. But I'm not convinced that Scourge is the best thing to be bringing.
Yeah, it's a curious choice. I'll have to ask them sometime why they actually went for that. It's always interesting to see the different ideas, right? And that's one of the things I've really enjoyed about this tournament. We have seen some little variations, right? Some fun stuff, some fun memes, right? Going into the tournament, and I'd love to know like all the details and the theory behind this stuff, because these girls have all practiced and thought about it a lot, right? And well, Downstate Cucks are on the final platform right now. Although, hang on, one is destabilizing. Oh, yeah. That's okay though. Losing one, that's you can survive that.
Yeah, if it's in your 5-man group. Yeah. Now it's 4 and 4.
Yeah, so it's 4 and 4. That may even make it, I guess, maybe a little bit more convenient actually, because now the other side may catch up on DPS, and you won't have to deal with the enrage. So an intentional death, perhaps. I'm joking, but you never know, right? So yeah, I think they should be okay though, as long as nothing bad happens. I think Downstate Cucks should be still pretty much good to go. Just
another down for win. That is now it's getting hairy.
Yeah.
However, that platform I believe was the one that was actually ahead.
Yeah. So they need to get to work on Canute. I mean, they still have a DPS. Is Mela going to do another? Is it going to be some heroic antics from Mela again? Perhaps it could be happening, right?
Well, you do always have the option of the other platform coming over to bail you out.
They may want to do that. How long? It's only 30 seconds after Nakari. Can they do it with 1 DPS? Do they have time for that? Oh, it's close.
I think they just have to survive until the other platform comes.
I think they may need to send help. I think they should send help. I don't think they have enough DPS for this. They've got 15 seconds.
Oh, time! Yeah, time.
This is relevant. I don't think they can do it.
This is a huge amount of spice.
Yeah,
he's dashing, which is basically
that's not good. 3, 2, and 1. That's rough. So you can see. Oh no, you've got to be kidding me.
They're starting over. Yep,
yeah. Oh no. Look, do you know what they wiped on Nike? 1%.
That's brutal.
1% wipe. And QQ are back in the lead now, because they wiped very deep into Largo as well, literally in the last few moments of it, right? The last few moments of that, right? That is.
I think your call was right. They should have sent one of the DPS over from the other platform.
Yeah. I think just to get that done, right, to ensure it, because as we said, right, the Nakari was the 5-man, right? So they had the additional players. They were obviously faster, a lot faster. And here's the thing, guys. Once you land on these platforms, they go down in 2 minutes. And after 2 minutes, not just the group on that platform wipes, everyone wipes. Although QQ, they're in a spot of bother as well. If you notice this, they've already lost a player themselves, and quite early on. Both the bosses are on 50%. They've just split up now. Wait, hang on. I wonder if they adjusted. I imagine they actually did adjust it. Let's go and take a look, see if we can spy this. Yeah, I believe they did. They should have sent 4 players to each side now, because they lost one on their 4-player side. So I imagine they actually compensated and sent an additional player over there, if I am any judge of that.
That can be tricky, because the player that's going over to the platform they haven't been practicing on for the last month is going to be not ready for the moves.
Downstate Cucks having shall we say, an interestingly positioned puddle in their first phase.
A very aggressive position.
Yeah. Are they going to get punished for that? This is not good. They're going to have a bit of a difficulty getting to the next platform there. Well, they're going to have to go in the water a bit, and they do make it, though. They do make it. They're okay. Well, QQ's dead, by the way. Wow. Right. QQ is hard feeding. And, well, the first roadblock of Wing 6 has been found. Now, what remains to be seen is who's going to end up getting cucked here. Is it the Downstate Cucks, or is it Plebs in the Void? QQ. What's it going to be?
I think LN's going to be with both of their wives.
Yeah. Wow, the double cuck. Now there is a 40-minute timer here. So, all right, okay, Nike. Let's see how toxic you are. Do they beat it in 40 minutes with Qadim CM as well?
Ooh. Well, let's see how many more wipes there are on this boss, and then we'll talk about whether they can beat Qadim in 40 minutes.
Okay. Right, well, let's see what we got going on here. QQ back at the start once again. So Downstate Cucks kind of back in the lead, back in position, right? So they're pretty, I imagine they're feeling confident about that, feeling good about it. But, well, they might not even know. They're probably insanely stressed right now. And Lagos, not the most relaxing fight, even at the best of times here. So let's see what the situation is. I believe hello. Do we have a special guest here?
Well, hello there. Yes.
Oh, yeah. So, Rocker, from LN leader, by the way. We're just going to have him stop by here. So,
almost.
How are you feeling about your tournament performance so far?
Well, my personal performance, I'm not so happy with, to be honest. The last wing was just kind of terrible. I got one shot pretty stupidly on Qadim. But overall, I would say we did pretty well. Pretty solid performances. So, yeah.
Wait. Oh.
Another one down. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I can't see anymore with Rocky.
Yeah, okay. Apparently there's some weird stuff going on with the audio. There's one weird echo going on. You guys want it louder? So hang on. I believe I've tried to fix it. I have addressed it now. Yeah, Rocker. So Wing 7, is that a fluke or is that actually LN's secret weakness? Or what is it? Or what's going on?
Obviously a fluke. We don't have weaknesses.
Okay, so no weaknesses.
We're a German tank, and we're here to roll over your little cars. Okay.
Tell me a little bit about the practice regime. Like, how intense was it? Like, I saw you tweet about the intensity. Actually, was it really that bad?
Yeah, it was really intense. It was really intense. Like, Nightmare is a bit of a slave driver.
Yeah.
Like he's got that whip, and if you are late to practice, he whips you until you It's what he does. It's crazy.
I mean, now, can you confirm this? I believe, does he have the Führer role on Discord?
Oh.
Is that accurate? I mean, I've heard rumors about this.
Wait, actually,
is it that kind of situation? Does he have?
Let me try pinging him to see what it's.
What's going on there?
No, I think he doesn't have that. I mean, he may have had that somewhere in the past.
Okay, all right, maybe somewhere in the past. Okay, not bad, but I mean,
it was pretty intense though. Like, it was intense. Like, we started like almost every night, and for me, like, I came home from work, right, and I almost immediately started into ERP practice for weeks. So it's actually been pretty intense, yeah.
Okay. Good
Pretty
stuff.
intense a practice.
All right, well, there you go. So we better get back to the match now because things are about to start happening. Downstate Cucks have got themselves back to where they were, and they are looking to be in a pretty commanding position right now. Let's hope that nothing of the same sort happens once again. It is looking fairly unlikely, though. They're looking very strong. Everyone's alive. It's all looking very, very stable.
The platform's clearing significantly faster. That could cause a problem when they put the other one into Enrage.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, Canute can be very, very dangerous, actually, if left unchecked. Like, one of those shockwaves will just instantly destroy you. I wonder if they could send like a player extra, right, to leave early. In fact, they are doing that. Well, maybe
I think that is exactly what they've done. Yes.
At 2%, but I guess it is the thought that counts. And before the other players are going to be able to move over. Oh well, actually, they're kind of saved by the invuln phase there, so the enrage duration will be minimized there. And then finally, Canute is mad. She's pissed. She is not happy, but does end up falling there. And I imagine our players are going to be doing some relogs here. What are they going to go for? Now, Qadim CM is one of those fights where you can play it very safe, right? You can have a Minstrel Firebrand. You could even play with stuff like Scourges, play really, really safe. Like, DPS is not going to be an issue for you. This fight is absolutely not. a DPS check. Now, QQ is also... Oh, actually, wait, hang on a minute. We just missed something very, very, very exciting there, because unfortunately it looks like QQ actually fell once again and end up wiping, and unfortunately they are going to have to start all over again. Lagos is, at this point, rivaling. They are rivaling. They are,
like I said,
rivaling MO, man.
I'm stuck on this boss.
Yeah, but this is Qadim is coming up next, right? Like, Qadim is about to happen, and that's when things start to get a little bit scary, in my opinion. Like, Qadim CM is possibly the most formidable boss in the entire Elitist raiding party with no downstate. Almost everything in this fight hates you, and it doesn't want you to stay up. It wants you on your back on the floor. Let's see how downstate Cucks, how Win are able to handle that. Now, they do have a little bit of leeway here. They have some time. QQ, they are in trouble, right? They are dying a little bit. They are getting broken. But, well, let's see how things end up for them. Oh, QQ getting knocked off the platform there. Perhaps less than optimal from that team.
Yeah, they're starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah. The fatigue is setting in, right? Like the fatigue of dying to Lagos. The stress is there. Now, the pre-event for Qadim is being handled with a portal strat here by Downstate Cucks. They're simply just going to portal up to the pyres up top after dealing with that one. There we go. Simple as that. They're just going to take that portal up there to kind of get that accelerated a little bit. There's also some really fun mount shenanigans you can do as well, actually. But this pre-event is not really too much to write home about. Those orbs are quite dangerous, though. And that is a precursor of what's to come. Because,
yes.
Yeah.
This wing is kind of the exception in that the pre-events aren't a place where you can gain and lose a lot of time, unlike other wings where you can. These are pretty straightforward, and you just go in a straight line and get there. Yeah.
Yep, you just do them. You can gain a little bit of time, a few seconds here and there, but nothing insanely significant, right? And I think we're gonna get right to it. Do we see now? What I want to know is, are we gonna see a minstrel firebrand? Do we see? Oh, we do. We do. We see the minstrel firebrand.
Engaging defenses.
Yep, they are engaging all defenses. QQ still fairly far behind now, 50% on Lagos. With any luck, they are not, they're not going to wipe, and then we'll actually see a proper confrontation onto Qadim. So here we go. The Hydra is enabled. There goes the beams, the orb bouncing around. For those who don't know, if you get hit by that orb, you are done in the ERP. That is going to break you. It's going to snap you in half. That will downstate you, and a downstate means that you have got to say goodnight. In the they're moving. They tank it the wrong way around, not able to get the full connection there. Instead of moving the Hydra behind, they actually move it over here, which is not ideal. Now, hang on. One player very, very low there for Downstate Cucks. The Hydra actually around 90% health, so they're going to have to deal with it in Rage for a little bit. But the lamp has been completed there. Here comes the orb. These players need to get these dodges. They may not have Aegis because they have been away for a while, but there you go. They're DPSing the Hydra. They're going big. Ooh, I think there's a player...
That's a little bit less than ideal in terms of how much damage they got on the Hydra before.
A player very nearly died for QQ there as well, but the Hydra should be able to take down. Now, what do you think? Is there going to be a portal strat, actually?
They're for sure going to use the portal strat to go from the pyres back to the...
guys, Nike, QQ is almost certainly going to die again, I'm afraid. I don't think they're going to make this. Yeah, Lagos is a roadblock here. Yeah, this isn't good. This is looking rough for QQ. I mean, it's doable. It is doable. They might be able to just get away with it with a 4 and a 3, but they got to get a move on. They can't afford to lose anything. And look, I actually, you know what? Okay, I'm going to defend Dungeon Cucks. It looks like they're going to kill every pyre. Now, because they have the heal fireman, they probably wouldn't be able to get away with the DPS. Right? Oh, there's someone so low, though, for Dungeon Cucks. They can't let that guy die. They need to heal him up here. And wait, did they skip stab? They actually did not. They didn't. They're just going for. Oh, yeah. Wait. Wait. What? They don't. Wait a minute.
They wiped.
What?
Yeah,
the problem. What were they trying there? They were just trying to YOLO it with Boon Strip, I guess, trying spamming CC to remove the boons because they skipped stab. And the thing is, they have no Spellbreaker. Deaxon is on Berserker.
I mean, if you just DPS hard enough, you can get there. would assume that's the plan.
Yeah, I wonder what exactly the plan was there. Did they mean to skip stab? Oh no,
Almost
no.
certainly.
If we actually check, if we look at Mella's perspective, they are actually, they did that on purpose. What we just saw there, guys, is that's very risky. It's very risky. So
I think you have to do it at this level. You're like, imagine LN's gonna skip stab, and you know that ST would.
Well,
so you have to, if that's what your competition's doing.
Yeah, I mean that would make a lot of sense. Like I would imagine though, for a lot of the time you'd use a spellbreaker for that. But Downstate Cucks are relying purely on boon corruption. We see Well of Corruption that Mela will put down to guarantee that there's none of that there. Maybe they even have 2 of those. They may even have 2 Wells of Corruption because they have the 2 Scourges here as well as their DPS, an Epidemic to handle the slimes there as well. The QQ did wipe, by the way. Unfortunately, they are going back. They're going back to Lagos. Unfortunately, the Lagos train never ends for QQ, unfortunately. But let's see. Well, let's check out Qadim. Qadim is where things start to get very, very worrying. Oh, Ben P in the chat. Ben's here for esports. How you doing, my friend?
Uh-oh, in the chat. Hide your frogs.
No frogs allowed, guys. I do not want to see even one frog in the chat. Otherwise, I will ban you. They are contraband and they are not allowed, guys. It's not allowed whatsoever. Right, so Dungeon Cucks. Downstate. God, I'm going to keep saying that now. I've got a bad habit. Well, let's see if they can pull this off. Because this does work, right? If in a bad situation, if your Chronos have clones up and you've got Necros to corrupt, or even just Chronos sometimes, and you're spamming CC, you can get away with it, right? You can get away with that break bar.
If your Daredevils are on point, you could phase it before you get to the break bar, even in a 9-man.
In CM though, I don't think you can.
It's a harder call.
In CM, it's insanely difficult because he does his mechanics a bit faster in CM as well.
It's true.
So it
looks like they managed to break the break bar.
Yeah. They did. No, they did not. At this point, do you just have wait, hang on. No, it's actually not Deaxon on Warrior. It's Plenix on Warrior. I'm not sure if he can play Spellbreaker. Like at this point, do you just play a Spellbreaker? Because I just think that the strategy here with the Berserker is not. It's not working for them. Like without that.
Yeah, I mean, a Spellbreaker would have. They wouldn't have wiped if they'd used a Spellbreaker.
Or maybe just do stab. Maybe just not skip stab because they're already running quite a safe comp with the Firebrand. So do they really care about that extra bit of optimization? I'm starting to feel a little bit worried. They're getting slowed down and halted very early on here, right? Like this, I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm worried, Nike.
They're giving Plebs in the Void a chance.
Yeah. Oh dear. By the way, I'm exposing Mada. She can probably hear me. Mada just used the word hard stuck, right? Presumably about Downstate Cucks. I can hear from the other room where they're observing. They're both saying hard stuck, right? This is the observers, guys. They're supposed to be impartial. They're not impartial. They're one of you guys. They are just as emphatic about the hard stuckness of these guilds as you. Now, I think we are seeing some relogs here. Yeah, we absolutely are. Is it going to be what are we going to do here? It's going to be another Necro. Another Scourge. Another Scourge. Okay.
Well, that's playing it safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right that a Spellbreaker was probably the way to go.
So I guess maybe they're hoping for a third Corrupt Well to shut down the stability is what they need to push.
It didn't feel like the stability was the problem. I mean, obviously they didn't break the break bar. It wasn't a matter of ripping the stability off. It was just a matter of the stability comes back so fast.
Yeah. I think that's why they've opted for the pulsing, right? The boon corrupt, right? The boon corrupt well to keep the stability from sticking around. But if they get their timing wrong, there will be stability. They might end up wasting CCs in between the 1 second interval of the boon corrupt. I think QQ is wait, what the hell is going on here? QQ is just they're just all over the place. They are on the final phase of Lagos. To be honest, they actually think. This is when you start thinking that they're going to start catching up, right? Like if Downstate Cucks
it's entirely possible, as long as they don't feed into this last phase.
Yeah, it's looking
okay. One
of the things
that's subtly difficult in the last phase of Lagos is when your boss goes into his CC phase, he sprinkles little AoEs on the other team's platform.
Yeah.
So if you don't CC quickly, it's a problem for the other team.
Oh, they've lost a player. They've lost a player on the 4-person side as well. And QQ is really having some troubles here with this boss. I mean, still, of course, 3 is enough as long as they can continue breaking these bars. And they'll be able to... They still have 5 on one side, so they could potentially send someone over to help and get that assistance down there. But like, this is already looking pretty scary for QQ. Looks like they're okay there right now. I imagine they'll have Nakari down very shortly. But
we are fairly close to this going to time. I mean... like even in a record run situation, this Qadim CM is probably like a 7 or 8 minute situation, and we have 10 left in the match.
Yeah,
the Cucks pretty much have to kill on this poll.
They've got to kill soon. I mean, I hesitate to even ask this, but did Downstate Cucks test this strategy? Do you think? I mean, they must have.
Feels like something went wrong.
Oh no, Downstate already for Downstate Cucks left. Wait, I think that's their Kaita.
I think you have to push. I think you have to push to try to get to the next phase. Strategically,
no. They lost the Kaita.
You're going to time. It's whoever gets.
No, QQ is wiping again. I mean, everyone. This may be our first timer game, guys. This may end up going to time.
This is getting brutal.
Yeah, this is getting
This is a feeding frenzy.
This is absolutely a feeding frenzy. This is a big feeding frenzy here, guys.
Any chum in chat?
Yeah.
Feeding frenzy?
Both guilds appear to be hard stuck here, unfortunately. Like, it's... I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. What the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on? I didn't see this one coming, actually. I mean, Wing 6...
Well, we did say that this wing was potentially the hardest,
yeah.
Proving to be the case.
Oh, no, it is the hardest wing. I think I would definitely go with that, and it's showing it here. I mean, I don't think that the Cucks have made it past, like 90% on Qadim so far. And, of course, QQ are still languishing in the depths with the Lagos twins. Let's see if they're able to take it down this time. Of course, I imagine they're really going for it. I mean, they're both still in it. I mean, there are my guys. The way the timer works is like, if this goes to 40 minutes, that will just end the round. And after 40 minutes, whoever's got the furthest will just by default win. So QQ doesn't necessarily actually have to kill Qadim CM. They just need to go quite far into Qadim CM. Like if Downstate Cucks can't make it past 90%, which was about where they were, then all QQ has to get to 89%, and they will actually emerge the victors in 8 minutes' time. So there's easily potential for them to come back, although they really can't afford... I don't think they can afford another wipe. Like, they will pretty much guarantee their loss pretty soon. If they wipe one more time, they won't be able to even really get to Qadim in time to get anything done, right? Let's see, right? Maybe this is the run. I mean, the Downstate Cucks, they're going to try. They're going to try and go for this. This is a little bit spooky here. Is 3 the magic number of Scourges that you need? Let's check out all this boon corrupt action. Is it going to be enough? Let's find out. 3 Necros, better than 2, but, well...
I'm worried. I think that was the wrong substitution.
I am very, very worried.
They rolled Spellbreaker and stayed with what they were doing, but...
Yes, it's unusual because I've actually seen them do this. I've seen them play this build. Oh.
Now there's
there we go. Right, now we are cooking with gas. The Cucks have taken out that break bar that held them back for so long. They're through it now, and they're actually making progress on the boss. QQ still at the start of Lagos. Fairly deep into it now. They're approaching 50%. On Canute. They'll be going to split off very soon, but the more interesting story here, I think, is absolutely Downstate Cucks. They're going to have to break that bar again, though, because, they have opted to have a, slightly safer comp with some additional healing in it. But yeah, wow, whatever was going wrong, they seem to have rectified. A few stacks get in there, guys. You can see that a few slimes get in there, which may make it a little bit problematic for them. The hand card and even getting hit by any of his attacks will be very, very dead. But, well... Guys, this is only the beginning by the way, of the horrors that await in Qadim. It could be argued that this is one of those fights that does get a bit harder at the end, in particular with the Wyverns. Like, the Wyverns are a very, very dangerous section.
I mean, even in this phase, when these champion ads that the Destroyer summons, their auto attacks can put you in downstate.
The Druid's dead, Nike. The Druid for downstate Cucks.
I think we're up against the hard enrage timer in this match. The hardest of enrage timers, the 40-minute cutoff.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a full timer match, I'm afraid. All right, well, here we go. They've got 5 minutes to see if they can somehow pull it off and get it down. I mean, they do have 8 players left, and that is enough. That Qadim is no DPS check, that's for sure, right? But honestly, at this point, QQ doesn't actually have enough time to finish Qadim. They only have 5 minutes, right? They have 5 minutes.
It would be a normal mode record run to finish now.
Yeah, will they even? They probably won't even really be able to make it to Qadim.
I think it's mathematically already eliminated. That they couldn't kill Largos and then get through the pre-event and then get to as far as
as the Downstate Cucks. Yeah, that's for sure. So I'm pretty sure that no matter what happens here, Downstate Cucks actually do win.
Downstate Cucks could BM very hard now. They could just GG and start
they could AFK. I'm pretty sure they actually can't lose at this point. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I mean, this is. It took a while. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't actually expecting it. I had a lot of faith, a lot of confidence in all these girls. They really are excellent players. But sometimes these things happen, right, guys? Like, stuff can get messy. It can get dirty. And it's exactly what we see
messy.
Here.
This Largos, the one is going to die much faster than the other.
No.
And then we're going to have a hard enrage.
Dear. Well, you know what? They had one player die on the 5 side, so that will actually help them out a little bit there, right? That will be somewhat convenient for the teams as well. They will make it a little bit so, but yeah, Canute is very healthy actually. Oh dear, this could be very scary. I mean, QQ probably gonna be able to get it down.
7 people left. It's gonna be yikes.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. QQ. They are wiping to Canute. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that this is the end. This is the end. I'm afraid. For QQ, and that's pretty much GG. Like, in fact, it is at this point. It is mathematically impossible. That we might as well actually call it at this point and maybe save some time. It is actually mathematically impossible for QQ to win. I will let it run to 40 because that is how how it goes down. But yeah, that's QQ unfortunately yielding themselves there. The time limit will be in play in 3 minutes, and yeah, I mean QQ. Oh wait, no, QQ actually got it. No, they did it.
Yeah, they did do it. But
okay, no, never mind. Oh, so I got caught in a time loop, guys. So yeah, QQ did it, but it's not. Yeah, they cannot win, right? Like they can't do it. You know what I'm curious about though. We can let this continue. Because Downstate Cucks, I wonder if they can kill it. Can they kill Qadim? It's Wyvern time. It's Wyvern time for Downstate Cucks. They might be able to get with us. They don't need Druid. Druid is completely optional.
You don't take a lot of damage in this fight if everyone knows what they're doing and where to stand. There's not much pressure, especially with 2 Scourges. You can kind of barrier through, especially the burn phase at the end.
Well, they also have a heal firebrand as well, so that's kind of keeping them intact.
Interestingly, they have the warrior tanking the Wyvern rather than I suppose without most groups have the druid. I don't know.
I think having the warrior do it is quite common these days, or another Chronos.
I mean, that's what I would have thought, but they're definitely not doing it.
Well, I mean, their druid is also dead, so that's that's also problematic here. But things are looking okay for the Cucks so far. It's a minute and a half to go. A minute and a half to go here. There's the break bar there. Everything is looking okay. How's the lamp call happened? Where is the lamp call? Is it going to be there? Not yet by the looks of it, but I imagine very, very shortly. There we go. The lamp is opened. You know what? It will. I don't think they have enough time to kill it, but I think they're actually going to do it, and we are going to watch it. We are going to see how it goes. The timer is up in 1 minute, guys. When it hits 40 minutes, Downstate Cucks will win. It is literally impossible for QQ to come back here, but I think they would win.
another dead for the Cucks. That's.
I think they can still. They'll still win though. I want to believe. I think that they will still be able to emerge victorious. Because soon the damage will have been dealt to the Wyverns, and then Qadim will take over. Oh no, hang on a minute. No, left falls as well. This is getting very, very scary for Downstate Cucks. Well, I mean, it doesn't
the DPS problem.
Doesn't particularly matter, actually, of course. But Zomros has arrived. Oh, another Downstate. Oh, I'm so sad. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it. Oh no. That is very unfortunate. Oh, Downstate Cucks wiping! Oh, no! Not able to beat the Wyverns, unfortunately, but there it is! 40 minutes.
Ooh, this is like a win that feels like a loss.
Yeah. Congratulations to Downstate Cucks. They win. That's it. They win. Win by default. They got the furthest. They got to like 5% and 20% on those Wyverns, and as a result of that, they have taken the first round. The Downstate Cucks, they are moving ahead. They're going strong, and well, I mean, QQ is well, there you go. QQ, they tried their hardest, but Lagos was a massive. And go! The teams have started. This could be a really big game for the Downstate Cucks here. Like, if they're able to take this, they're already in a really good spot. They're almost guaranteed prize money if they win this game. They aren't guaranteed it, but it's pretty close to being guaranteed it. So this is a big game. This is a big game for the Downstate Cucks. The same is obviously true for Plebs in the Void, but they kind of got here for free. So if the Downstate Cucks are able to win this, they are actually effectively undefeated in the tournament, which is something that LN can claim as well. But the Downstate Cucks, I mean, I think they would like to be able to claim that. Now the Firebrand is also very handy for those reflects, right? As you say, that sort of stuff, like keeping those worms, because these worms, they do have a tendency to sometimes just gang up on you, right? Sometimes they just go, ooh, yeah, it's time to be the big dead. The big dead. They just spit on you, and then it is over. So, well, there you go. But both groups looking pretty good. So
add a little bit of DPS that just makes it a little bit more pressure on your healer.
And yeah, well, you know what? Nemesis will be very happy, I think, because if this may be a hybrid Scourge on QQ's side here, because look at the DPS. The DPS is a little on the low side there, as you can see.
I mean, that might just be the epi out, right?
Well, it might be the epi out, but even still, as an epi out, you should be considerably higher than that, right? I mean, it
looks like 17k boss
17k.
DPS.
Well, actually, that is a bit high for Plague Doctors, actually.
It just seems like someone who did not necessarily executing quite as hard.
Okay. I'd say maybe the rotation isn't quite there, but both teams are fairly even right now. We'll be able to get a good measure on the DPS very shortly, like who's going to be able to get to that first, the 66% ASAP. Well, actually, it's already been Downstate Cucks. Downstate Cucks, in a pretty solid position here, I believe. But it is still, I want to say it's very, very, very close actually in terms of DPS. And the reason for that, I think, actually a Downstate, oh no,
actually,
oh dear.
QQ has better DPS. If you look at the group DPS, they're about 25k DPS ahead of Downstate Cucks.
Well, I think that should be the case, right? That should happen because they've got an extra DPS.
Yeah.
I mean, the Downstate Cucks have one less DPS player. QQ is running with only a single healer, I believe.
Oh, that's a wipe, and they're going to have to go.
No.
Here we go.
Yeah, they've got to go again.
Big chance for QQ.
This is a big chance. There could be a potential comeback here. A potential comeback, but not a comeback for the scheduling of the tournament, which is something, I'm sure that's going to be quite the meme, but never mind. Let's get down to it, boys. We don't care about that. We've got to bring some energy here. There has been a little bit of feeding. Unfortunately, that was one of the tanks that ended up dying there, and if that tank falls, the other one has got one hell of a hard job ahead of him, and they just realized that, well, the boss realized that was an easy target, and the boss ended them. The boss saw to their defeat, and this means going to be QQ is in a very, very strong position. They're going to be killing it in just a few seconds as well.
And you can see, even with a full group, QQ's DPS is just higher. It's significantly. So the Cucks would have to be getting a lot of utility out of that second second
healer. Yeah, the second healer, and yeah, it just looked that QQ have really got the execution down, and maybe maybe this is the wing
like
for
if
them.
You're gonna bring that healer, like you can't wipe.
Yeah,
like,
you cannot wipe. Yeah.
So that really hurt.
Yeah, that really hurts them. Something is you're gonna have to go pretty badly wrong for QQ if Win are gonna get back in this. I mean, well, there's always Doom Siam waiting for you at the end of the wing, right? It is there. It is there. But well, there you have it. The Plebs in the Void surging ahead and not wiping without a second healer. Like, their name, guys, for those who are unaware, the title for beating all of the challenge modes in Wing 5 is Voice in the Void, and they may be living up to that, that title. They may be very, very familiar with Wing 5, because what's the most lucrative thing to sell?
A lot of experience selling Wing 5.
Yep. Oh, and we see the Core Engie. The Core Engie is in the mix there because they go for the immediate swap over to a Scrapper, I believe, just for that really, really high super speed uptime, right? Like, it's all about super speed. Maintaining that speed is just going to be incredibly key. Making Desmina go really, really fast and speeding up this event. QQ putting through. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They...
Oh, yeah.
Oof. They're, speaking of hard stuck, it's not
Desmina, guys. Oh dear. Well, bear in mind, even if things don't go to plan here, it is still okay. It will only make it a 1-1. It will not force the Downstate Cucks down into the lower bracket. So, it's not the end of the world. It is absolutely not the end of the world for these players.
There's still so much time left in this raid wing. I mean, QQ could just wipe once at Doom and reset. All the advantage that they have.
Or they could just never kill Doom as well. Like, that also may be a possibility. Doom is waiting, right? Like, he smells weakness, right? I think you see, oh no, it's happening again. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Buckle up, guys, okay? Get your blankets, because we are pulling an all-nighter for the Elitist raiding party, guys. This one is going a long time, and it is getting very, very spicy. Get those Peepo comfies in the chat.
Oh, no.
No, what? Again. What is that? What is going on here? Seriously, I'm calling the action. I'm going in his Discord. I'm going to go in his Discord.
Where's Grimjack? Get Grim.
Yeah.
Page Grim, get him in there.
Yeah, that is a situation not ideal whatsoever there for the Downstate Cucks. I mean, they are trying to ready themselves. Maybe a few issues with some coordination though. Right at the start, right, a few issues with that, but, maybe now this will be their chance. I mean, Plebs in the Void have lost a few players, but they were probably players that weren't important. Yeah, I believe they're actually just going for some swaps here. It's going for a few cheeky swaps while they finish off this event. Like, they have effectively completed it. It's more or less impossible for them to fail at this point. Desmina just continuing her long march up the road towards the end. Look at that super speed uptime. That Scrapper putting in work, making this a bit of a quick one. Now, of course, the Plebs in the Void are 6 minutes or so ahead, I want to say, at this point. Now, Doom CM can change this.
Yep, that pre-event will really hinder your progress if you fail.
Yeah. Oh, well, QQ are 100% on point here. They are not messing around whatsoever. Getting a lot of work done here. Moving on to the eyes, the statues of Grenth facing against Broken King. Now, Broken King gave the Cucks a little bit of trouble. Will these guys have mastery over it? Like, so far, their Wing 5 has been extremely clean. They're like, so look, guys, if you want to buy Wing 5, you're absolutely on. If you want to buy Wing 6, then it gets a little bit dicey, right? Like, we need to kind of test all these raid wings. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a difficult one. Well,
oh no!
Oh, you've got to. This can't be happening. Why? They won't stop. They are refusing to stop, guys. They keep feeding into. They just keep feeding into Desmina. Into Desmina. Deep. Raid Ranch. It rocks. I mean, when is the point where you just relog a bunch of necros and just get it done, right? Like, when is that? It's got to be pretty soon, right? Like, at some point you've got to realize that you need the epidemic.
If you have that Minstrel Firebrand and you're still feeding, like you have to think it's almost like their DPS is too low. That it's just leaving too much room for error.
Yeah, and that it's a really interesting kind of decision-making process. One death for QQ, by the way, which is obviously not good. It's that decision, that dichotomy, right? Like, what do you want? Do you want to kill the boss really fast so you have less time to fuck up, or do you want to play it safe and potentially have time to screw up? Because that can happen so easily on something like Desmina, right? Because there's a lot of mechanics where you can't recover, right? And if you're exposed to more of those mechanics, you perhaps end up like Win here. You end up on the ground and resetting a boss for nearly 10 minutes straight now. Like it's definitely a possibility, right? It absolutely is. Now,
this is also one of those fights where Scourge, even as a DPS cost, is beneficial because it just gives you incidental amounts of barrier that add up to reasonable survivability. So if you go all Scourge DPS, it's actually a pretty tanky composition for this particular fight.
Yeah, it can be tanky and also, solid DPS as well. So it is a bit of a best of both worlds kind of situation, right? It's very, very potent. Now, Downstate Cucks on 50% here. Meanwhile, QQ should be able to finish off the Broken King here. He's a little bit of a time-gated event now. You can't actually do Broken King insanely fast, well, for the sole reason that at the end of the day, every 2% of his health you do, he spawns one of these orbs, and you can only take so many orbs. If you take too many, you end up as an ice cube. Now, of course, you can kind of out-heal it, but do you really want to do that? Do you really want to go for that, like the ultimate tryhard strats? Oh, maybe LN will, in fact, well, actually, LN probably will definitely go for it at least, but, even them, it might be their undoing. It does look, though, that Downstate Cucks they are stable. Oh, hang on, that golem, though. That golem moving back in, that's not good at all.
Oh, and the CC at the same time. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they get the bar, but the positioning on that is very rough, especially because of the health percentage, the platform will be shrinking soon. That will leave them with a big chunk of that arena not available for them to use. Not very good there at all. And there we go. There's
going to be really on the spot with the necro portals.
Yep. They may need it.
Avoid the wall.
QQ gets the Balkan King, and so while they're cementing their lead there, 1/3 of the statue's done. Now moving over to the Eater of Souls. Finally, a little bit of good fortune for Win. They're able to get some very solid RNG there, some good RNG there from Downstate Cucks, actually, and even this wall here is very, very avoidable, very easy to deal with there. I think, well... see what's going on here with the Amela perspective. No, that's a Downstate. Is that Diaxon? I think Diaxon has fallen here. They've lost some of their DPS. They should be able to finish it without them, though. At least it's not losing a chrono or something like that, because you are going to need that. So I think the curse is about to be broken. The deadlock hold that Desmina had on Win.
Oh, another Downstate.
It
gets ugly.
Yeah, that's a tank. Ugly. That's a chrono as well. The other chrono has to take aggro back and hold it for the rest of the fight. Now, the good news is it isn't very long, so I think they're all right. I think they're
Firebrand can give a lot of sustain.
Oh no, another Downstate though.
No,
not two. No! Surely not.
They have. Oh, that is painful. That was the run, and it fell apart. Went from perfect to ugly very quickly.
Oh dear. Okay, they are fully hard stuck now. They are fully hard fucking stuck, dude. This is rough, and this does feel bad. Like I gotta feel bad for them, right? Like we've all been there. Listen, guys, I'm a streamer. Diaxon's a streamer. Plenix is a streamer. Mela is a streamer. Like I know how this feels. You're doing a run. You're on stream. You're with your boys on your Monday clear, and for some reason, it just ain't happening, right? It can happen to you. It can happen to me, and it's happening right now to Downstate Cucks. It's a good thing they're not all in the guild together, because this is kind of the start of the disband, right? Like this is when people start flaming each other. It gets silent in comms.
This is when quiet. Grimjack applies to Snow Crows.
Oh, well, yeah, this is... Yeah, that is where, Grimjack says something, he says something perhaps that we should mention on stream, and then, that's a Twitch clip, that's when that starts to happen, right? That's when we get some content, right, to enjoy for, days and years to come, you know what I mean? But he's not even there. I mean, it's a no Grim, no win, right, Nike? It's a no Grim, no win.
Yeah,
they need, Yeah. At this point, I think, I don't want to say this, but I think that the Downstate Cucks should probably maybe ask the Spectator for help, right? As a 10th player, maybe, to kind of come in there and bolster up the power, bolster up the forces. I mean, maybe that extra player would have certainly helped there. We can, that would be pretty good. But yeah, it's a little bit rough right now for the Downstate Cucks. They're a very long way behind, 10 minutes or so behind QQ, now moving on to the I event. And, well, it's been completely smooth sailing. Do you think, are they going to one-shot Doom CM? I'd love to see it, right? I'd love to see a one-shot from QQ.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a Cell Guild, Doom CM is your bread and butter, so...
Yeah, it's the most lucrative.
That's the one boss I would expect you to be able to shine on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where you get those juicy Mystic sales, man. That's a lot of gold. That's where you get all of your money from, right? That's what it's all about. You got to get on that shit. Well, okay. Portal strat being enabled here. Let's hopefully they're able to get a clean execution of that and then moving straight on to Doom. You see the orb thrower POV there, and then moving on. There we go. Portal activated. Going to take out the eye before moving backwards. Now, Win, get out a break bar, about 40%, ready to rock and roll. Could this be it? Is this going to be the kill?
It's too soon to call. I mean, we saw them go from everyone alive and with pretty wide open field at 10% to full dead by 5%.
It didn't take long, did it? It really, really didn't. It
got ugly early.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, yeah, it was a tough one to watch. It really was. You hate to see it. Wow, QQ, look, this is fantastic. They're done with the eyes. 15 minutes. I guess they just crank out those Wing 5 sales, right? It's just like boom, boom, boom. Keep selling. Get that gold. I mean, when it comes to efficiency, these guys are on point. They are really, really on point here. Yeah, impressive stuff, actually.
Oh man, that was a good second push on that golem for the Cucks, but
if only they had this run right at the start. I mean, that would have been quite something. Now,
QQ, it's not over yet.
No,
they still have time.
Yeah, they have time to wipe. I think it's pretty unlikely at this point now. I mean, everyone is on full health. Firebrand putting in work, big healing, big memes. I don't think they can possibly wipe at this point. It's looking very, very solid for Downstate Cucks now, but it's too little, too late, right? I mean, well, actually, no, I really shouldn't say that, should I?
Get just as easily hard stuck on Doom CM as they. It's just as feasible for QQ to get hard stuck on Doom CM.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. And QQ, they are underway. They are getting started on Doom CM right now, guys. Now, if they're able to one-shot this, they'll win in pretty quick time, right? Like, I think they only need, I want to say about 8 minutes to do it, I reckon. So, they could be done in 8 minutes, right? If that. Right, maybe even a little bit quicker than that if they have really high DPS. Now, what kind of setup are they going for here?
A very interesting comp.
Ooh, oh wow. They do. So they're going for kind of almost like a hybrid strat here. They're going for aggressive DPS classes with some renegades, right? With the double renegade setup, one scourge probably for fleshworm. An epidemic to help kill spiders, I imagine, and then they have the double druid as well for that safety. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff here. Even they have a lot of interesting. Even a soul beast there as well. I mean, the good old soul beast cubed, right? The good old reliable, old faithful DPS class that will get the job done pretty much no matter what. So yeah, it's a slow and steady thing.
The soul beast is you get extra spirits to
more
help
uptime,
block star. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to worry about the using your spirits defensively and not getting them offensively.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, let's see what is the situation here. Ooh. All right, well, the Cucks are now moving through the Spirit Road event. Meanwhile, Plebs in the Void are digging their teeth into this juicy and incredibly enjoyable Doom pre-event they're going to be signing soon. No one's picked so far. In my mind, that's a very good sign. I think that's a good start, right? That's where you want to be in that situation. Oh, hang on, careful, don't get picked there. The guy nearly ran into the... a bit of a scary bomb there as well. Careful. Yep. Whew. That was a little bit scary, wasn't it? Well, never mind.
The big man is up. Let's see what kind of DPS they can push.
Yep. I mean, they've chosen these classes for a reason. They think they can get the job done. Now, with the setup they have here, in theory, Star should be perfectly fine. Right? They're going to have a lot of spirits there with the druids, right? Like putting the spirits down there to block. And they do have one flesh worm as well to block. So Star shouldn't be a problem. But they do only have one flesh worm, right? And Necro kind of is the king of blocking off Star. So I'll just kind of explain what's going on. Oh, hang on. Doom kind of sliding around a little bit there. The skeleton. Oh, wait. This is an insane brain strat.
They strat it. They stealth.
Wait, why are they doing that? They only have one Necro, though. They have one Necro. It doesn't do anything. So they're not, like, bouncing or anything. They just stealthed it. I guess they're tanking in the corner to give their tank and maybe themselves more room to maneuver, I guess.
Ooh, and it did the worst leap possible. That was not where they wanted it to leap to.
Yeah, sure. It's pretty safe, though. Actually, is it? Wait, hang on a minute. That's pretty bad. Wait a minute.
It's a very strange...
Oh, no, they're okay. No, they're right.
And now they're down a person.
No! Honestly, they should just GG it. They should just GG it. Like, this is... You cannot be in this situation.
I mean, they're 8-manning it at 90%. It might be wise.
I think we're going to see a Doom pre-event here. Like, if I was them, I would definitely... Well, they think they can do it, and they're going to push for it.
If you know the kind of lead you have, you're so much better off GGing now than wiping at, say, 35%.
Yeah.
Or less.
Well, if they were to do that, if it was, say, 35%, at that point, I think there's a pretty high chance that the Downstate Cucks that win will have been able to actually catch up, and then it would be more or less even at that point. Because if they are gonna wipe, it's quite likely that they wipe pretty deep into Doom. But
not GGing here is just it's a very aggressive, move.
Yeah, they may think, though, that it's a very close race. They may think that the Downstate Cucks are right behind them, I suppose. Like, they may not have the critical information at all, which could be, that could be a really big problem, right, for them. Like, they have got to be very, very, very afraid there for, of their opponents. Now, what I'm actually worried about here is, do they have the damage for this? I'm looking at their DPS, and it's not... It's taking a while to kill this, right? And, wow, they're actually going for the safe tanking strat as well. They're tanking by the door.
Sort of safe. I mean, it's safe in terms of Star won't die, but it's harder on the player.
Yeah, it's a little bit more inconvenient to actually dodge the Echo, right? You've got a little bit less space to maneuver. Particularly if you have the tank, it can be very, very annoying to experience it this way. But it means that Star will never, ever die. I mean, Triangle taking a bit of pressure there as well, actually. Just a bit of a coincidence. And you got a bit of a beating right at the start of the round from the skeleton. But QQ think they can do it. They think they can actually go for it. They can absolutely go for it. I
mean, if they do, that's very impressive.
Yeah, and they can do it. 8 man is perfectly possible. And they have a good chunk of DPS left. Double Renegade and a Scourge and a Warrior. That's enough to do 10%. If they don't die, they can kill it. Yeah, I have no objection to this. If they believe they can do it, they're going for it, but it is a gamble. At this point, I think it will take such a good chunk of time that if they wipe, I think that Downstate Cucks will actually be on Doom, right? I think they'll actually be on Doom basically at the same time that QQ would be wiping.
Downstate Cucks also did the eyes first. So that means that the hardest part is done, essentially.
That's an interesting one.
It makes sense. If you're going to get hard stuck on eyes, you might as well get hard stuck on it first,
Yeah, just get it out of the way, right? Like, get stuck, just get over there. But it does leave Broken King to get stuck on, though. I mean, because they're doing...
the kind puke on that one...
Ooh, yeah, on the platform.
On that one orb is not great.
The tank is handling it well, though. The tank is actually doing good work there. I mean... Doom is on 50% for Plebs in the Void, so they are going to be able to do. They're on pace for the DPS check. They're going to get there. They'll get there.
They just can't lose another person. If they lose another DPS class, they have to.
Oh GG. Yeah, it's over at that point. Like, so it's got to be very, very stressful. I bet it's tense in those comms, man. Like, because that if anyone messes up, that's pretty much it, right? Like,
Star is also taking a little bit of heat. It stars at like 45%.
Yeah,
it's always a race between Doom's HP and Star's HP, and right now they're kind of neck and neck.
Yeah. I believe the reason for that, though, was actually because when the druid went up, he wasn't able to pick up the messenger on one of those greens, right? Like, there was that spawn after the second soul rip. He wasn't able to grab the messenger, and no one else replaced it. So, unfortunately, the messenger was left unchecked for a little bit. So, using this tank strat, I imagine that there will be no real complications for QQ with regards to the Reaper. Is it it's the Reaper of the... What is it? The... oh, God. What Reaper is he? Which one is he? I can't remember what it is.
Chaos Plains.
Chaos Plains, yes.
Well.
Is
that another dead?
Yeah, that is another dead, and that's bad.
Another dead. They got a GG now.
Yeah.
Go now. GG. What are they waiting for?
Yeah, they know it. They're restarting it. They're restarting it.
That was...
Oh.
Here we go.
The
All right,
call was made. We've got a game now.
That gave the Cucks 5 minutes back. Essentially.
Yeah, well, maybe even more than that, to be frank. I think QQ have been at it for a while, and, well, actually, this is getting worryingly close, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean,
QQ.
One more wipe, and it's anyone's game again.
No, Win are having trouble with Broken King. They've lost 2 players. Oh, I hear the observers moaning in horror.
You just got to take it slow and steady. You can do this with limited players, Broken King. You just got to take it slow and tell people to stop their full-on DPS rotations.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. But, I mean, well,
but
QQ, they've got
a lot of players are me DPS.
Yeah.
Me DPS, and
they want to see those big numbers. They want to see those big dick DPS numbers, right? That's what they're about.
They won't stop even if you ban them.
No, they won't. They will absolutely not. They're going to squeeze that hog right to their DPS benchmark, and they will not stop. No matter if you block them, if you ban them, or if you just ask them politely. Oh no.
That's another one.
Win. No. You cannot wipe this. They cannot wipe.
That would be giving
to Broken King. That will pretty much
Broken King's health is way high. If it was at like 10%, man, it's hard to know whether they should continue.
I'm really scared. A minute and a half. They've got a minute. No, that's fine. Is that fine?
It's still doable, but time is ticking. Like
25%. Now, I think they should be okay here, right? Like, while we watch the exciting Doom pre-event. Thanks for that, ArenaNet. Really appreciate that one. Oh, that was just terrific that we put that in the game. But yeah, I think they should just be able to get away with this. Well, I hope so anyway, because watching them die to this will be fine. Oh, actually, they have a long time. Actually, they have plenty of time. They're fine. Well, I think so anyway. Ooh boy, they're completely fine. There's no way they die there. There's absolutely no way they die. I donate 1k to the prize pool if they wipe on this. There is absolutely no way. Oh god, wait, no, my money.
You heard it, chat.
No,
okay,
no.
Doom is up. Here we go. Let the DPS begin.
Oh.
Doom took a very meandering path to get to the tank.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. He's a bit of an indecisive boy. Oh no, Win. Don't do it. I need my money. How else am I gonna buy orange juice? What's gonna go, man? Come on. All right, there we go. There's literally no way they can die now. Actually impossible. They're relogging. Well, the relog of the dead people, I guess, makes sense, right? QQ have just started now. Wow. So
QQ has one pre-event lead ahead of them, essentially.
Yeah, they've got a pre-event and a bit of RP. So it's about 3 minutes.
RP, actually.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of RP. It's probably 3 and a bit minutes right ahead of... Well, actually, at this point, would I be correct in saying that I think Win more or less need to one-shot here, actually? If they don't one-shot, they will not really have time on the timer here. They just won't have time on the timer to get that done.
No, with a 40-minute limit, they could have 2 good pulls, but the question is, I mean, they still need QQ to wipe. Like, if QQ doesn't wipe, then their lead is insurmountable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult for the Downstate Cucks to come back here. QQ is looking stable here as well, going into the Soul Rip phase here. The suction is dragging no picks there as well. Ender's Echo moving through the group. Everything looking good. A few players getting dangerously close there to the boss during that suction. It takes very, very heavy damage. Yeah, they really want to go greeting for that DPS. Now, one thing that QQ have been very good at, obviously, killing Doom CM is something they're okay at, but they haven't got picked yet, right? And that is obviously very good for them. They have not actually suffered any picks so far.
I mean, in addition to just getting picked being dangerous, even if you break the person out, it slows your DPS because everyone has to stop what they're doing and CC. And that is just another big time loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, let's see if they're able to do this. So their DPS is looking firm. I mean, last time QQ was here, they of course lost a player. That hasn't happened this time. QQ is still running with their entire roster. And
they are intact.
Yep, they are fully intact. Just again, utilizing the door tank strat just to make sure that Star doesn't die. I mean, it's not something you want to wipe to. There's nothing worse than wiping to Star. You know, that sucks. That's not fun.
It's not good.
Yeah, that is rubbish. That is no good at all. All right, but here we go.
they at the moment they have everything under control.
They absolutely do. Okay, and yeah, QQ is on about 50% now at this point. You know, they're really getting some good work done. Dungeon Cucks, well, they're still on the pre-event here, really. That's not what you want to see. That must be so annoying. Knowing that you have no way to accelerate, this is absolutely no way they can catch up. There's some parts of these raid rings that are just brutal. Are we sure that ArenaNet aren't really into hardcore raids and stuff like that? Are we sure they don't like that stuff? Because some of this stuff is just it's soul crushing, right? It's absolutely soul crushing.
Yeah, they're definitely into punishing players, but
yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. Now, Win just starting the fight, but that's not just 60% of a boss's HP they're behind. That's 60% of Doom CM they're behind. And that's a very different thing. This boss has a hell of a lot of HP, 40 million HP. Ooh, I had narrow escape there.
Yeah, that was a
little bit low. They need barrier here. They need barrier. I think they get it. They get the barrier, which is good for them. They're able to stabilize there. Woolly Pick is going directly at them. This could be a very, very interesting bounce. That's a big bounce. Will anyone get caught here? Hang.
Close.
Whoa!
Oh, that was close.
Whoa, okay. A few players just skating past. There's a Downstate. Who is that?
Attack.
A renegade.
He turned and just
swiped him.
Blasted that guy across the face.
Just destroyed him.
One hit kill.
One hit KO. That's Doom, guys. He does not mess around. Same way, Guild Wars 1, he bans you. Can't ever log in again. Same thing here. That guy, his account is deleted now. He's done.
Now, that's not the end of the road, but it does begin to start to get a little dicey.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Right, here we go. The Plebs in the Void. There's the pull attack for the 30% situation. Is everyone going to get picked? Oh, Echo broke. They need to be careful here.
Yeah.
He will be unpredictable. Oh, there he goes. Picks.
Almost got somebody.
Almost, yeah. He was fishing for it. He didn't get it, though. I need to dodge this. Oh, the Plebs in the Void. They've just got to keep this up a little bit longer. They are really close to being done right now.
Yeah, it's on farm at this point.
Yeah. Oh, good RNG with the Echo there as well, making this very easy to get your soul back, because he went on the person doing the green, so that's very easy. Now,
they have a little bit of a tricky situation with the
messenger. No! No! Oh, good dodge there! I think that. Oh no!
Oh, he wasn't been only fed.
Oh no!
He messenger, but got too close. He flew too close to the sun, and that was.
Oh dear, Druid lost.
Not awesome.
They've lost one Druid, but they have another. They have a backup. But they need to not miss a green, because that Druid was almost certainly doing a green. So they need to get a backup. No! Another one!
And now the Cucks have taken the
lead. The Cucks are back. They haven't wiped, though. They want to go for it. Even with just 6 players left.
It's at 21%. You can't go for it.
You
they don't
can't
have the DPS
do
in the
that.
last 10%. There's no way.
No, they can.
No way
a downstate for Cucks, though. A downstate for Win. There's one down. He's dead.
Brutal.
And a missed green for QQ.
And they're going to have to go now. The choice is made.
Yeah, they don't get a decision anymore. Doom made it for them. Yeah. 7 minutes. Fair fight.
I mean, it's 8 versus 8 and 50% versus
9 and
health.
I think 8 wins there. I mean, downstate Cucks, they have got to not win. Who did they lose? Wait a minute. They lost their druid. They lost a druid.
Yeah. I mean, these guilds all are used to solo healing normal mode, so.
Yeah, so they just have to play really, really safe. They do have a backup though. They have the second druid, but I mean Vexio, guys. I've been seeing this druid, I've been watching his performance, and he has been a feed man. I mean, I don't want to say it right. Like he thinks that he is like fertilizer, and he's feeding himself into the plants. Right, that's what this is. Right, like he just says, yes, I will join with Doom. I will join with the feed. And I will sustain Doom in his time of great hunger. Now, of course, this is by no means over. Like 8 players is perfectly enough. They've got a good chunk of time left. They've got about 4 minutes left. Just don't miss greens. Solo heal. Don't get hit. Barrier up. Don't wipe. And downstate Cucks can absolutely win this. They've got to be on point with this barrier, though. Having only one healer, they've got to be careful.
One thing to consider strategically is that it was actually smart for QQ to continue there because they pushed the boss to like 19%, which means that if this goes to time, which is entirely possible, they would have pushed it 2% a little bit further. Oh, a green failed!
No!
How do you fail green?
No!
Oh my god!
No! That means, wait, QQ almost certainly wins then as a result of that. Because there's no way that... it's impossible.
To 18%.
It's another 40-minute round. Fucking hell.
I mean, we don't have to stay to
the end. We don't have to.
It's mathematically eliminated.
We should offer that option to win. I will absolutely respect if they want to play it out, but they can't win. It's over. QQ is... They won.
That was... Missing a green, I mean... That's tough.
Yeah, that is rough. QQ with that 18%
I mean, if you have like
run though.
5 people dead, or 4 people dead, missing a green is more believable because you have like the second backup and they're completely disoriented. But when your whole squad's alive, that's painful.
We just got the response. Jackson actually wishes to continue. He wants to go for the continue. And
we're gonna have to push some DPS. Yeah. They got 4 minutes to.
They're gonna have to go big. They're really gonna have to go big here. They really are. But let's see how this one is. See how it's gonna go for this. It's gonna almost certainly go to a 1-1 situation here. I'm pretty sure that Win cannot catch up in any way. And to be frank, QQ could just AFK. There is basically no way for them to lose. They have that best attempt of 18%, right? And Win will not be able to contest that, unfortunately.
All I'm going to say is I hope that we don't get Wing 7 for the third game. Can I just be the one to make that hope, right?
Yeah, that would be spicy.
Yeah, that would... another 40-minute match. That would be...
Yeah, I think we're gonna run out of energy, man.
Let's cross our fingers and hope for like Wing 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna get tired looking at this. This is ridiculous. It's out of control. It's completely out of control here. Oh my goodness. Well, QQ are progressing well. Win are now they're just about to start the encounter. They've got 3 minutes to be 18% on Doom. I'm pretty sure that cannot be done. Wait, right? Yeah, no, there's no way they can do that. Without the DPS requirement, that would be absolutely absurd. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go before
and
the
a
time
pick.
Happens. Oh, and a pick. Yeah, I mean, this is... Yeah, it's a bit of a... It's a tilt situation. At this point, it's better just to kind of say, okay, right, let's just chill. Let's just relax.
And a down.
And a down. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah, regroup, get ready for game.
Yep, relax, and just go again, right? And just go again. Simple as that. Just go again. That's what it needs to be. And yeah, that's pretty much going to end it. There's really no way they're going to make it now. Yeah, the pre-event is 2 minutes. Yeah, it is literally impossible now. Like, they won't even be able to get to the boss. But QQ are going to be able to bring this back to a 1-1. They brought this back into the mix. Downstate Cucks versus Plebs in the Void will go to the third game. It will go to the third game, my friends. Alrighty. Yep, and I think Win have kind of relaxed. I think they are just going to kind of let it, they're going to let it run out. And there you go. That's 15, it's a minute and 15 to go. Oh, no, they are going to start it, actually. They are going to start it. There we go. Okay, there is a little bit of a confusion over the rules, apparently, but, the last minute of the round will be ticking out at this point. Will be ticking out. A 40-minute timer will be coming through. Roll a new raid wing now. Well, we could do that, but I know I respect the teams. We do want to see the, we want to see the end of this. We don't want to mess around and end it prematurely, right? There's no need for that. There is absolutely no need for that. Okay, and 30 seconds to go. Well, actually, wait. There's actually some possibility that QQ might actually be able to get a slightly better. Do you think they can go a little bit further than 18? They may well be able to. Nah, they probably can't. Actually, 20 seconds, they'd have to go a lot further than this. Yeah, QQ is going to go for a kill. Oh, wait, nope. Yeah, no, they're not. Hang on, I don't know why. I don't see. Why do I call this stuff? Can someone remind me why I call this stuff? No, they aren't going for a kill, and now they're dead, right? They died instantly, bit of a bad bomb, and then into the one-shot. But that's it. 40 minutes is up. Time's up, ladies and gentlemen. QQ emerges victorious, because that's just how it works, guys, right? The 40-minute timer is here to safeguard all of our sanity. These CMs aren't easy, guys. They are not easy by any stretch of the imagination. And we're moving on to another raid. Getting going in 3, 2, 1, go! Off we go. Oh yeah, I hear them. What the hell are you? What the hell are you two doing? Okay.
Oh no.
They were just. I'm sorry, guys. They are. They are getting out. We're gonna have a word with them after this, right? The observers are not on point here, right? What the bloody hell are they doing over there? They are. There's pets, AFK. Dude. Yeah, no pets. No pets. We're cutting off all pets. Yeah. Right, well, here we go. It's going to be Can, just waiting for Can to spawn. They're all going to go on the platform ahead of time. By the looks of this, just going to wait for Can to spawn, then immediately take him down. So, again, very similar setups here. Can is one of those bosses where everyone's going to do the same thing, right? Like, a healer won't really help you, especially, actually, on with no downstate. Like, a healer can carry you and res you up from downstate, but a lot of the stuff from Can will just raw one-shot you, right? Like, it's not a question of, healing. It's a question of you're going to die to agony and there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, hang on. Can is not rendering on that one. Let's just go. Let's go and have a look at a nice stream, guys. So, look at this druid gameplay. Just jump some down. I mean, it happens, guys. Sometimes bosses just don't appear. It's a common problem in Guild Wars 2. We might be able to get that back. We'll check that out in a little while, guys. See if it's recovered. But anyway, all right. Let's get into this. You know what, Roy? You were excited. What's going on? Tell me the situation of these raids. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because it's not only did we see Win have to do a second Wing 5. This is now the second time they're doing a Wing 4. They just apparently want all the CMs. And we did, of course, see them win. We saw them beat ST on the last Wing 4. Of course, the last two raid wings going to timer. Wing 5, of course, the second time they did it, they were able to kill Doom, but this time they were not able to. So it'll be interesting to see if they make the same mistakes as they did last Wing 4. Obviously, wiping once on Mo. They almost wiped on Samrog as well, getting that 1% clutch with Mela. And they did have a little bit of trouble with Cairn at the end, too. They lost one and I think almost 2 players at the very end of Cairn there, but they were able to kill it. But very, very clean demos. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them do pretty well here in the Wing 4. I think that, Wing 5 and Wing 6 are probably a bit more challenging than Wing 4. So, obviously they're very, very tired, having played for just an hour and 20 minutes straight, as well as doing their entire match before. QQ hasn't had to play quite as much, but of course they're probably feeling it too. But yeah, I think I expect good things from Win here. I think they're ready. I think they know what they're doing, And I think they're also going to be a little bit more prepared for Mo, which obviously has been one of the biggest challenges so far for these guilds, surprisingly enough. I don't know what you think about that, Nike.
Well, I would say that the biggest challenge so far has been
finishing.
Finishing. I mean, I was going to say Qadim and Doom, but we didn't see QQ get to Qadim. So just finishing the wings is going to be pretty impressive. And it does look, though, like Win has a little bit of an edge, maybe 20 seconds.
Stronger DPS. Yeah. Stronger DPS from Win there.
And 2 dead on
QQ
as well.
Uh-oh.
I don't think we're going to see them wipe. There's only 10% left on Karen. It would be very surprising.
Yeah,
but they have a couple players going a bit low. They need to be careful with that last 5%. But it should be okay. But again, I mean, I'm going to be looking at Mo. You know, we could see a one-shot come out here from both these groups, or at least one of them. But we could also just be here for the next 20 minutes if these guilds they get hard stuck, which happened with ST. They wiped 3 times on Mo.
Yeah, they absolutely did, and that was one of the keys to Diaxon's success on this radioing was the feeding of his opponents. Well, let's see if there's going to be any kind of a repeat of that. I think both teams are going to be playing Scourges. I would imagine both teams are going to be playing Scourges anyway. If I were to guess, are we going to see those relogs? Say, wow, oh no. So it's.
We didn't see the Scourge deck the last time though. We actually saw a lot of Firebrands from ST on Mo, I don't remember if Win were running that as well, but they weren't stacking Scourges either. I think they only had 1 or 2 at most. And you know, it's really interesting to see them not run these Scourges, but we might see them run it now. Although it doesn't look like they're swapping to that.
No, they absolutely aren't. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the interesting things about this boss is it doesn't necessarily matter what you run. It's about what sort of group DPS you have, because depending on the group DPS you have, your blues will line up with the spikes, and that is not what you want to happen. So there could potentially be times where having actually a little less DPS is beneficial to you, and it's really about having practices enough to know what comp is going to give you what DPS, and to make sure that you hit the timings with that comp.
Yeah. And, you know, we're going to see Mo started up here by Win. And we do see QQ starting it up just now. A little bit behind, about 15 to 20% on the boss. It's definitely not an unsurmountable gap. You know, if both of these teams manage to one-shot Mo, I think there's definitely a lot more room for QQ to catch up to Win on both Samurag and Deimos. And obviously there's chances for both those groups, or either of those groups, to wipe on those bosses. But I do think it's actually really important to see if either of these groups and both of them can just get through Mo without wiping it all, because I think that's going to be kind of a boss that not a lot of people would have necessarily considered a threat, but clearly is, because ST and Win had issues with it the first time. And I think a lot of groups are going to be looking at this saying, okay, if we can just get through it clean, there's a lot less pressure off us. There's a lot less stress for the entire wing and the rest of our runs. And I think that's really important.
Dungeon Downstate
Cucks on both.
On both sides. Well. Yeah, QQ's lost one. But Win's lost more.
They're just going quick.
And the wipes begin.
Oh boy, here we go again. Here we go again, chat. Here we go again. All right,
we got another 34 minutes left in this round, guys. Pack a lunch, pack a dinner, get your string cheese.
Yeah, buckle up. I hope you guys brought a packed lunch. Let's have a bit of a picnic here in the Bastion of the Penitent.
What we should do? We should, next time there's like a wing, you know, one of the challenge mode wings, so wing 4, 5, 6, or 7. We should, right when these guys start, you should make a pug team, Teapot, and see if you can clear it faster than them. See if you can beat them out.
What is going on?
It would just be interesting. That's all.
That is.
I'm not BMing.
That is BM, dude. That is insane BM. That is toxic. That's insanely toxic.
Look, you would have 10 players. You would have Downstate. You wouldn't enable CMs. It would just be like a science experiment. That's all. But anyways, nonetheless, it does look like QQ are doing a decent job 8-manning it. Obviously, losing that one player for the last 40% of the boss health or so. Oh no! They lose 5.
Oh my God!
Spoke too soon.
Yeah. By the way, just as I swap off the perspective, which isn't delayed, they instantly die. So we missed that amazing moment as they instantly feed. And now, well, there you go. Here we go again, going round all over the place. Yeah, that's some. That's some good stuff. I like it.
Oh no, the wipes.
Roy
are
is
starting
back,
to-
dude.
Now, look,
Spoiling.
yeah, I know. I spoil left and right. I apologize. But listen, hey, you know what? I think at this point, the faster we get this done, the better. And so if I can tell you what happens ahead of time, I mean, look, Samurog is going to get one shot. Yeah, exactly. That's the big predictions. But we did see Win wipe once to Mo, right? The last time. So maybe this time they get through it again. They get a little rusty. They have to get going there. So next try, they'll get in there. They'll get it done. They'll go straight to Samurog. They'll have hopefully a cleaner run than they did last time, and then they'll go to Damos and be fine. But I mean, hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully they just get through it without losing any more.
Yeah,
players.
I hope that happens. Otherwise, this is very much gonna get out of control. Oh no, another downstate for downstate. Yeah, there's so much damage.
Lava.
Yeah. You got to stack scourges, but yeah, they should be okay. They should be okay. I'm really surprised that we don't see more of a scourge stack here, right? I mean, I guess they want to avoid relogs, right? Going into Samurog, I suppose that's why they've got the thief to open the door. Also,
yeah, but
also
you know
Boom
what?
Thief too, of course, right? Boom
you know what
Thief.
saves even more time than saving time on relogs? Not wiping Unmersat over here. So I really want to see at least one group bring those scourges like we saw teams in the ARP do, and. We saw a lot of wipes on Mo in the ARP, but I don't think it was this many. I actually don't think it was this many. So, maybe they should be looking at some of the more casual guilds for some suggestions,
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Watch the VODs, boys. But, yeah, looks like Win is probably going to be able to bring it through here. Yeah. Less than 10% now on the boss.
Yeah, very likely able to do it. We see in the player PV, though, the blues, they were able to secure, lock down those blues. You can still see them spreading out even without that being shown there, but Win should be able to get away with that for sure and get the job done. Well done to Win. They're moving on to Samurog. Just a slight bit of instability, a slight bit of feeding to get Wing 2 underway. Now moving on to Samurog. So Samurog is pretty much just as scary. Nike, what do you make of Win's chances here? Like, what do they have to watch out for? What's the danger on
the
Samurog?
biggest thing to watch out for is just getting out of rhythm. It's a fight that requires a lot of rhythm. Like, you want to keep moving, you want the spear, you got to follow the pattern of the spears. You got to just not get disrupted, because what can start to happen is a couple people get knocked out of position. You get a couple bad stabilities, and your DPS gets disrupted, and all of a sudden you have two people dead, and you're actually threatened by the enrage timer. It's one of the few fights, I would say, where the enrage timer is an actual chance of being relevant.
We saw it come as close as it possibly could the last time Win was on this boss. Again, Melo able to clutch it out at 1% in Samurog. So they're definitely going to be, I would expect, going into this trying to just have a really clean pull here. They don't want the same thing to happen. Obviously, they were able to do it on one attempt last time, but it was as close as it possibly could come to wiping. So I expect to see them, again, they have, they're not too far ahead of QQ. We just saw QQ beat Mo. They didn't wipe a second time, fortunately, but I expect them to not take it too crazy and maybe not necessarily take the risks they were doing last time, like GGing on the CC bar. The break bar.
Yeah, it was a bit of a somewhat of an unstable moment.
Oh, another restart.
Yeah.
What is Win doing? They need to just
they're in trouble here.
Focus and do what they've practiced.
They are in a bit of trouble here.
It almost seems like they've forgotten that they're actually, racing against time here as well as another guild. They're not doing anything. It took them forever to start here, and actually get underway, and it has cost them the lead that they had over QQ.
Yep, they are in hot pursuit here, right? They're not messing around. I mean, both teams with a lot of similar cards here, Dragon Hunters and some Thieves as well. An extra Thief in play. And also, wait, there's a Scourge for QQ, actually. Now, they might be using that for Trail of Anguish, which is a very handy stability application tool, but then again, why not just play a Guardian, right? Like, you might just want to play Guardian for that. But I'm curious about the Necro choice there, actually. Maybe it's just they just didn't want to reload.
One thing you can evaluate the teams on is how fast their break bars are. Generally speaking, the better it's going for you, the faster your break bars are going to be. So if one team is breaking noticeably faster than the other, you can tell that team is doing much better in the fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and a bit of a low firebrand there after that spear phase for QQ, but he should be absolutely fine. And they're getting pretty close, I think, to the first split here. on QQ. Just actually, it's kind of hard to tell. Is Win ahead?
I think Win is, if anything, slightly, a tiny bit ahead. It's very, very close. So you can see the exact health percentages now up on the screen, but it is definitely a close one. Yeah, Win is, yep, they make it there. They're about 4% ahead there. Oh no, a knock! Wait, no, actually, no. Okay, no. Yeah. Yeah, I thought someone got knocked. Oh, that was scary.
But
no, they didn't.
I mean, if both these groups, again, not trying to jinx here, if both these groups are able to just do Samurag right here, it's going to come down to whoever has Deimos down better.
Yeah, pretty much.
And again, Win, obviously, there might be a little bit of, exhaustion coming into them. But again, they have fought Deimos already today. They are more warmed up for it than QQ will be. And they had absolutely no issues on Deimos whatsoever on the last run. And I think that will play into it as long as they don't have that trouble starting again. But overall, it does seem like they're able to edge QQ out just a little bit with the DPS too. And that will be a bit of a factor that plays in their favor, of course. And we see it here. They're able to finish this phase just ahead of QQ now. So they are definitely ahead.
Yep.
Not by a lot, but definitely in the lead.
Oh, yeah, they're going for it. They want to get this done.
They're just based on comp, you can see that the Win comp is a bit more aggressive, a bit more DPS oriented. And as long as neither team dies, then obviously the advantage is with the team that brings more DPS. Yeah. The question is whether you get a lot of utility and survivability out of the sacrifice. And as we saw on SH, sometimes you sacrifice the DPS player for extra utility, and it doesn't actually help you survive. And in that case, you're just throwing away value.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it is very much, as you were saying, it's a really big kind of snowball effect, right? It's a big old snowball effect. You lose a player, you've got less CC. You're much more likely to lose an additional player, and the longer it stretches out, the more likely you are to die, and then eventually fail those break bars. And if you fail those break bars, there's no recovery. Even if you had the downstate, there would still be no recovery, even with that, actually.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you were talking about, the Scourge. I'm really wondering what it's for, because I'm looking at the damage, and, it's not terribly far behind one of the Firebrands, but it definitely is lacking in damage. And looking at Win's DPS chart, I mean, all their Firebrands are just dishing out damage. And it's, I wonder if for some reason they think maybe they need the barrier from the Scourge, or, I don't know what it could be, but it's definitely an odd choice for them to have taken.
It may be the Flesh Golem. They have a Flesh Golem set up, and that's a very potent piece of CC.
But they have two Daredevils. Do they really need that extra CC?
It may, to be honest, we may be overthinking this. It may be the fact that they just, maybe he's got a potato PC and doesn't really want to relog after MO. Oh,
I was
QQ!
Yeah.
Instant kill on QQ.
Samurag consumed him.
Yeah, he got vored. It's a big eat there. And QQ already behind, so that's only going to extend. It is only going to extend their deficit. And by the way, guys, a very quick update because of things going a little bit longer than perhaps I was expecting today. Well, actually, definitely a lot longer than I was expecting. We are actually going to end up. We're probably going to postpone the final match of the day because it's going to be ridiculously late at that point. It will end up at nearly midnight my time, which is 1 a.m. for all the EU friends. So we are very likely to actually postpone the final match of the day until tomorrow to make sure that people can kind of rest up and not gonna kind of go crazy. Right, so that's what's going to be happening there.
I think that's probably a good choice to make. Obviously, that doesn't mean that we're done after this, by the way. There is still one more match after, which will be CL versus Locke, the first losers bracket, and that means that one of those guilds will be knocked out entirely. But the second losers bracket match we'll have first thing tomorrow. And I think that's the right call too. It's obviously gone on very late. We had two matches go to.
I'm going to cut you off there. I'm going to have to cut you off there because Win want to even the scales here, and they actually feed in sympathy. They go for a big feed and lose one of their players in the exact same position in the squad as well. Very roleplay there. Very, very roleplay. Fortunately, Win are able to still get away with breaking all of these bars. They are holding firm. They are holding strong right now with just 17% to go on Samurag. Good dodges by them. I think even without that one player, they are looking good to go.
Yeah, they should be all right.
And as we saw last time, though, that they were in this very similar position and ended up relying on the superhero play by Mela to finish the boss.
Do they GG the CC bar? They do.
They do. That's risky.
Yep.
That is risky.
No, I think it's smart. With 7 players alive, there's very minimal risk. Not even I can jinx it. There's no way that they die here.
Oh, I hope they all wipe now.
Yeah, it couldn't happen. It could not happen.
I want them all to just GG. That would be amazing.
Just to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Just to prove me wrong. Is that what you want?
No, it does look like you're right though. We are gonna probably see. Oh, another Downstate coming out though from QQ, and that means they will be down to
7 players.
Just over 20% left.
Which means that now they have a decision to make with as far as the GGs go.
I think they have to keep going. They have to.
Oh yeah, they can't reset. I'm just thinking. They can't do the sacrifice at the 10% break.
I mean, the question is, can they even break the bar with that few people, though? They may not have a lot of CC. Well, I suppose
but,
so.
But obviously, they've got one more to go. Yeah, it'll come down to this break bar.
Yep.
Maybe they try it, and if it doesn't work immediately, they do GG it. But, yeah, it is a bit of a risk. Still, 6 man on 10% shouldn't be too out of the realm of possibilities. It is a risk, though, and that maybe is not what you want to do when... it's this close. I mean, we see Deimos just about to be started now. Now it's started here by Win. So, obviously they don't know that for sure, but they have to assume that Win are ahead of them, and they need to catch up. So it's a risk, and risks are sometimes what you need to take.
Ooh, there's a knock for QQ, and that's another death there for QQ. A big pod.
Another death.
Oh no! 4 players. How long? Oh no.
5.
5 players? Nope, I cannot count whatsoever. I mean, wow, this is...
Right. Here's
They're not going to be able to break that break
Yeah,
bar.
they can't get that. They're going to have to 4-man it. They're going to have to reduce...
Ooh,
they're going to go for it!
Can they do it?
Can they do it? No.
They couldn't. Now the game. Now the challenge is on.
Yeah,
they need
this
to
is
channel
scary.
their inner Mela here.
Yeah.
4 players and 1 10% boss. Who would win? Well... I'm
We're
not sure
about
it's
to
going to
find
matter
out.
because Deimos already started by Win, and to be honest, if they don't mess up, it won't matter. It's
This
a
is
third.
bad.
Another one.
Oh, and another one! 2 players!
Oh, I don't know if they can do 8% of the boss.
8%.
It's Druid and... no. They're calling it. QQ fall once again. And they're going to have to go all the way around yet again. And meanwhile, Win are getting their teeth sunk into Deimos' many hands. Look at all those hands, guys. Look at those hands.
Yeah. And, I mean, again, obviously they don't know exactly where QQ is, but they can play safe as they possibly want. Not that they're necessarily going to, but it's... Again, we saw them play very, very well against Deimos. I think Deimos was probably their strongest encounter. In fact, it was their strongest encounter the last time we saw them on this wing, and I would be surprised if we see any sort of difference here. We didn't see a single black activated. Obviously, with the only player that died, they sacrificed him, and I think we're going to see them just have another clean run, finish it out here in probably about 25 or so, 26 minutes, something like that, and finally actually complete a raid wing.
Yeah, I think that's going to be likely.
Soon.
Yeah,
all this fight takes to get ugly is 1 missed Aegis on Slam, and it sends somebody flying into a black, or it's a key player that just dies, goes off the edge, and suddenly it gets really ugly.
Yeah, by no stretch of the imagination are the Downstate Cucks in any kind of safe position. It's never safe when you're with Deimos, right? Because normally, if you lose a few people because of some missed Aegis, like the Aegis gets stripped or something like that, you can just revive them. Oh, no, not here. This is balanced on a razor edge, right? And just one wrong move, 1 wrong millimeter to either side is going to result in complete disaster and a full reset. Although, at the end of the day, I mean, I think Win wouldn't really be that upset about that because they are looking very, very strong right now. And, well, I mean, they didn't have any trouble with Deimos last time. It was more Samrog, but they remembered to bring Mela about the place, so that's all good to go.
Absolutely, yeah. And Nike, how do you feel about the sort of poor showing here for NA? In this tournament, obviously we have about half a team, a little bit more than half a team, I suppose, for NA. Just surprise you at all? Where's your team?
I don't have a team. It's indicative. I'll just say it's indicative of the state of the community.
Yeah, the reigning community or the NA community, or both, I suppose.
I mean, NA specifically, but it's definitely not just an NA problem.
Yeah, but it is a good showing nonetheless. Obviously, Win doing pretty well so far. If they do clear out Demos here, they won't have lost any of their matches today,
and they avoid getting one shot
to go against LM.
Oh yeah,
yes they do.
Yeah, I mean, never lose. Now, to be honest, I think a lot of this kind of thing stems from the fact that I think the teams underestimated the no downstate, right? Like, even the best of the guilds kind of looked at it and didn't see the truth, didn't see the terror, right? The true horror of no downstate with raids. I mean, like, guys, Guild Wars 2 has a bit of has a reputation for not really being that difficult, right? But here's the trouble. When you take away the downstate, a core mechanic that is very, very good at carrying your... Oh, no, and there we go.
You say it.
Yeah, as I say it, Deaxon loses Aegis and ends up dead. That's not the end of the world. It's doable from this point. It's, it's very, very doable, but it's a massive, massive blow, actually, for the team.
Yeah, at this point, it starts to become, what do you do at 25%? Do you sacrifice the person who goes down, or do you send everyone down? I'm sure they have not practiced sending everyone down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I would imagine that they just sacrifice the person, depending on who it is. If it's like your druid, you can't sacrifice the druid.
It's also the first time we see them do anything wrong on Demos, and again, I mean, that's a I've mentioned this a lot. It's a big part of mental warfare. There's so many players going low there.
No, that's a wipe. They got it.
And another person died.
Oh,
so they are gonna most likely have to start this over.
Yeah,
impossible for them to do it.
Just GG now?
Oh, and Saul is going to die too. Saul is ticking out here as well. I'm not sure if they can get away with this. I think they want to go for it and see if they can make it happen, but they have their DPS. I just don't think they can really make it. Like, the Saul, one Pride, or eventually just Greeds, will make it through and will end up wiping the group here.
I think they have to just GG. I mean,
the
Pride.
They don't know this, yeah. Oh, another downstate.
Oh, and another downstate.
Yeah,
that's it. They have to GG it. They should just GG here, and they should just reset because they have the time. Samurag is still not finished for QQ, and now they're GGing.
They might have been wise to GG a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
but
I think as soon as they lost that second player, they probably should have. But
it's hard to tell because you don't know what the other team's doing necessarily.
Exactly,
So it's hard to know what what the optimal strategy is.
I think a lot of times when you have those situations, and we saw it so many times on Doom, especially when we saw Win go up against ST, I think you just have to assume that the other team is going to make mistakes and mess up as well, and you just have to get the best time out, because we haven't seen pretty much any time that a team has started to lose players, halfway through or 3/4 of the way through a boss. We've hardly ever seen them lose some players at that point and then able to finish the boss. We've pretty much always seen them have to reset, and I think that's something they really need to keep in mind, because the no downstate is affecting everyone. Not a single team has not wiped, except for I think maybe LN on a boss, and the no downstate is absolutely a huge factor in this. So you're right, you do obviously have to consider it, and you're not sure where the other team is, but I really think that in a lot of these cases, the safer route is just GGing and saving those extra 10-15 seconds that you wasted by continuing to go on. So it's
because it can come down to the wire. It can really come down to the wire, right? It absolutely can. It's truly a terrifying situation, guys. A terrifying situation to be in. Now, QQ, they have lost a player, but they are certainly looking to actually finish the job here. Samrog getting very, very low here, and they should be able to finish her off and then move on to Demos. Well, they won't be that far behind. Yeah, Samrog is not male. Samrog is a female of the species, man. Yeah.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
Well,
Drew going very low, but should be okay. Yeah. And but either way, even if they finish Samurag here again, it comes down to will Win wipe on Demos again, because I don't see QQ catching up to them. I think that even though again we saw Win just wipe on Demos, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see them catch up if Win is playing well. Not even that well, to be honest. I think they're 30% ahead, it would require them to pretty much stop DPSing for QQ to catch up at this point, unless they start losing players or wipe again. So it will rely a little bit on them. And Samrock isn't even done yet. It's still like 20% on the boss. 15% rather.
Yep.
So
it is looking fairly solid though, but yeah, but just you say, just 14% to go. One more break bar, and there'll probably be a sacrifice. They could probably go with breaking, actually, if they wanted to be extra safe, right? And just, kind of sack a little bit of time. Or honestly, it might not even be a time loss at this point, actually, because, they've already got a player down, so it might be efficient just to go for the break. Oh, no, oh dear. Few players getting dangerously low here for QQ. They lose one. Can they break the bar? They get the bar, though. They are able to get that bar.
Be able to finish it at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not going to be a problem. They should be able to nail this down. Should be all good to go for the plebs in the void.
Now, Nike, let me ask you this. Coming into this tournament with the no downstate, what would you have said was the hardest encounter without downstate across all 7 raids?
Well, I probably would have gone with Doom CM or Largos, actually.
And you think that's still the case after having seen all the raid being...
I think so. Although I think Qadim in Wing 6 is also pretty nasty with no downstate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Largos is probably completely underrated because of how high pressure it is.
Yeah. And yeah, absolutely right. And we've heard many times remarked Largos is the pug destroyer.
Oh yeah.
And apparently it's the Erp Guild destroyer too.
Yeah, it's the everything destroyer apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. We still haven't seen Qadim killed. So it'll be interesting to see. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the finals tomorrow, the best of 5 finals, we are doing Wing 7 automatically, right? We're not rolling for that?
For the finals. So in the finals, the winner of the upper bracket gets to pick a raid wing. Right? They get to pick a wing, and that wing is played first. Then it's just 4, 5, 6, 7 for the rest of the best of 5 for the finals.
So we're definitely,
we will be
good chance to see
experiencing. Yeah, there's a good. Well, if it goes to that 5th game, then we're going to see Qadim.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. Well, is there? I think we're always going to. Oh wow, we might not see any Qadims. If it's 3-0, we won't see any Qadims. That will be a real shame.
It would indeed. Maybe we should do 7-6-5-4.
Oh,
then we won't
yeah.
Maybe we should do 7-5-6-4.
Well, maybe we just need to make sure it's close, right? We just need to, give the guild, rig it, give them a bit of a nudge, right? That could be pretty good, right?
We haven't been rigging it yet.
Just get Ellen very drunk.
Oh yeah,
like extremely drunk.
I'll just send Rocka a bunch of laying pictures during the raid. He won't be able to.
Oh,
easy.
Oh,
but
nice.
25% left on Damos just about here for win, and they are still 9 men alive fully.
They sorted themselves out a little bit. The druid, actually ends up getting sacrificed, which is quite unfortunate for them actually.
That increases the challenge.
Yeah.
Although sometimes that's not so bad, because what can happen is the druid can actually sustain themselves down, and then with all the DPS players up top, it actually phases faster. So what could end up happening is it actually works out to be the best. I think when we were going for a record run on this boss, we had that RNG happen in normal mode, and it was actually better that the druid got sent down because no one was going to die up top, and we had all our DPS just phase faster. So it actually worked out better.
Yeah, you got to go for that grind, right? That's some exciting grinding to be done there. Got to grind, make sure you get the right teleport as well. Sounds like a fun record to go for.
It actually was fun, but yeah, we got good RNG the first time, so thank goodness.
I was legitimately terrified that final Mind Crush was going to one-shot the entire guild. I was very worried there. Very, very, very worried.
You see the druid still hanging on, sustaining down there, so it worked out. That was the best possible RNG.
Probably we're going to be seeing Win taking it here. I mean, it would be very, very difficult for them to wipe on this last 10%.
10%?
The last time we saw this wing. And so it's most likely going to be QQ going down to face up against ST, which will happen tomorrow, as we said. But there's still one more match coming out after this. But yeah, I mean, Damos completed after only one wipe from Win, and it seemed like Samurag was actually the challenge here this wing, surprisingly.
I'm glad to see a wing completed. I mean, that was really, really good. That we got some.
There you have it. We got there at the end. It's been a while since we've seen a last boss go down, but I mean, there we go. We got there in the end. Downstate Cucks are going to go on to face LN tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Oh boy.